All right, welcome back to the Tapped In podcast. It is the third episode here. You'll see we're down in the basement today. That's because it's -4 degrees outside with the wind chill. So I went up to the sap house to take a look at that, and the wind was blowing right through it. So we decided to switch it up. But welcome back, boys.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
Together again.
made it over here. It is literally blizzard conditions out there.
How are the roads?
Pretty bad. I put my life on the line. Come spend it with you
good,
boys.
good. We appreciate that.
That is nice. So I heard that you were supposed to be in the woods today working.
I was. They say I'm getting a little soft in my old age, but I don't know. I wasn't feeling it today. The winds have been blowing like 60 miles an hour, dude. I don't know what you guys got going on here for gusts, but it's probably not the time to go in the woods and kill yourself over a maple tree. So
No, probably not.
Probably not. I'm assuming most people know where we live. I mean, you said small town, but
We're up here.
I don't know. I'm sure we got viewers from all over the country.
We got one guy from West Wisconsin that commented on the
There
video.
you go. Well, we're in central New York, so Utica area, and we have some lake effect snow coming off that lake that is dumped, 10, 12 inches on us today.
Yeah, of course, the last night when I went to bed. Yep.
today
We
got some people tuning in from Minnesota. Good friend of mine, Dave Carlin. Little shout out, buddy. We need to get him sometime on here. He works on Becker vacuum pumps.
Okay.
He doesn't work for Becker. He works for a company that they're repairing these things all the time. This guy knows more than people that make them.
Hey, that's good.
He's good, dude. So I talked to him, and yeah. So I think in the last my YouTube video coming out, you'll see last one I was doing a service on the vacuum pump, and I was talking about how that.
remember this thing coming out for a couple weeks now.
Right, but I talked about how I refuse to pay $295 for a filter.
That's right. Yeah, I saw that.
So he found a crossover filter for me for $95.
Bingo jackpot.
There you go.
No pen. I can't find.
I can't find a pen. That's all right. I'll get it.
I don't know about you guys, but as the older I get annoyed with the price gouging of what's going on here. It's just, we think we're rich millionaires.
I know.
Like, it's crazy.
And who in the industry can really afford to spend that kind of thing on an air filter? Like, and why? It's an air filter.
Yeah, I mean, that's just stupid. But anyways.
But we released one video, right? You haven't dropped the second one yet?
No, the second one's good. We're recording this on, Tuesday?
Sure.
Tuesday, and we're dropping it on the Thursday, the first of the year. So Happy New Year. There's a second one. The second one went out.
The second one will go out.
This one's going to go out the 8th of January.
So after our first one, which I don't know much about these analytics, but you boys said we had some people tuned in.
Right here, I'm looking at it right now. 623 views on the first one that we made, and it's still growing. Each day we get a few more, and we picked up 93 subs on one video. It took me half a year.
That's what I said. This channel is going to outgrow mine in the first year, in the first video.
Why are you doing that?
This is mine this time.
Yep.
Because you messed my settings, Dan. No.
But he's fixing the camera, so yeah, it took me half a year to
well, I said, how many? 600? What'd you say?
600 and some views, I saw.
623.
Well, shit, it's luckily we know 600 people.
We don't. No. Well, Daniel said he's like 20 of the views.
Dude, I probably watched it 10 times myself now.
So, and obviously, I think anyone that knows us know we are not technical geniuses for sure.
If you could see the setup of cameras we got right now.
And we're doing this just to have fun. And hopefully, like we said in the first two, which you haven't, that if you can pick up something, if not, maybe we can help somebody. Maybe we can't, but that's the goal, I think.
Yeah, and like you said, awareness. I think you touched on that a little bit too. Like, everybody out there in the maple business world is looking for an edge, and there's a lot of smart people in this world, So if we can put some stuff out there to help people, help them better off their, business, whatnot, it's, and have a little fun along the way.
Right, and show how we do it, because we don't always do everything perfect. So if we're doing something and someone calls us out and is like, hey, this is how I would do it. This is what I've done in the past. This is why it's better. That's better for all of us, right?
I had a guy comment on my video the other day, and he says, he asked me like 4 times, how do you get that sap? out of there. So I think he was thinking that it was pumping from the woods to my building. I said, no, it comes from the trees to the pump house. Then I pump it from there into my truck, and I have to haul everything.
Yeah.
I don't think he understood. That's a whole other beast, hauling sap.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't have to do that.
You know,
if you watch any of our videos, you'll see we got a video coming out on Friday that is us running our lines, and it comes right to the sap house. I mean, it's perfect setup. Perfect.
Yeah, and then thinking what we could, a good topic to get started on today. We just walked that mountain, which the only way we show you is on the YouTube when it goes out. The YouTube, I get in trouble for that. YouTube. But we run 3/16 line.
Correct. 3/16, which is the inner diameter of the line.
Right.
3/16 of an inch.
And that's something that I didn't know about until really you started, and I think Pop Harrington started.
Yep, Harrington Maple Products.
Right.
They do a lot of it. Yep. They have 3 different maple woods, and 2 of them are 3/16 line, and then they have 1 that is inch main line with the 5/16 sub or laterals going off of it.
Right. And you run, what size line do you run on the gravity or the vacuum as far as your drops and your sub mains?
So my sub mains would be 1 inch.
Okay.
And then
the lateral lines.
But the lateral, I know what you're saying. So the lateral lines is the stuff right here. It's 5/16. This goes to the trees, tree to tree to tree, and then it comes into that 1 inch. Then it goes down the 1 inch to the 1.5 inches, and then the 1.5 inches take it to the releaser.
Gotcha.
So Pop Harrington, he's doing inch mains, 3/4 sub mains. So he's a little bit smaller scale.
But he's got 300 taps on that too, right?
Yeah, I don't know how much he has in that woods because I think he's got like 680 total. So I don't know how much he has in that woods, but
so going into it a little bit, we don't have a vacuum system. Like if you watch Dan's videos, he was just talking about servicing his vacuum pump. We don't have any of that. So I thought it might be good to go into somebody kind of our size or even bigger. I mean, you can do it up 300 taps if you have the right setup that doesn't have electricity there, doesn't have a generator, doesn't want to do that because they're just getting into it or don't have the money or they're small.
Right.
So,
but they have a lot of drop. That's the key to running a system like ours is you need slope in your woods. If you don't have slope in your woods,
why don't you go into how the heck this thing works? Because it still baffles me at some point.
So there's with the 3/16 line, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it. I'm holding it in my hand. This is our 3/16 line, and this is 5/16 line. So you can kind of see the difference in size there. And all the difference is the interior diameter. So 3/16, obviously interior is 3/16. So what that does is it creates a smaller opening and basically creates an easier siphon. So you need less sap to make a siphon. So all you're doing is as your sap fills your line and fills up that 3/16 diameter, it creates a natural siphon that pulls the sap down the hill. Now, anyone that doesn't know anything about vacuum, because we're going to use a lot of vacuum numbers today, you do vacuum in inches. That's how you measure it. Is it inches of mercury?
I believe so, yes.
And so the most you can have a vacuum is 30 inches at sea level.
Yes.
And so up here by us, what's the max? Like 28 inches?
Well, I touched on that. You'll see that in my last video. My vacuum pump is rated for 29 inches.
Yep.
But for every 1,000 feet you go above sea level, you lose an inch. So
Correct.
I'm only making 28 up there on the hill, which makes sense because we're roughly 12 to 1,500 feet above sea level. It's right.
Perfect.
Right.
So
Perfect. Yep.
they always say this pump's rated for 29 inches. It's not.
No, right.
Because, if you're, I don't know, rated at sea level, but who's making syrup at sea level?
Yeah, it's
Nobody.
hard to do that, right?
So, it's a numbers thing. Like, it's a catch, I think, for the person to buy it. Like, oh, this thing's going to make 29 inches. Well, you get it all set up in your pump house or whatnot, and you find out, well, I'm only getting 28.
You'll never pull 29
You'll never
inches.
pull 29 inches.
Correct.
But 28 is still good.
Oh,
Very
I mean,
good.
it's it's still high vac, but it's like, why don't they just say 28 or 26? I guess
29 at sea level.
I think they do say that, but like you don't think about that when you buy it. You're not even thinking about sea level. I'm going to hook this up. I'm getting 29 inches.
Right.
And it's not 29 inches.
Right.
But,
and so
with a siphon, hopefully everyone knows what a siphon is. Sure, we've siphoned gas out of a few things over the years.
Just a couple
feed
times.
the four-wheelers, the snowmobiles, or even our vehicles. You have to have a line that's full.
Yeah, it has to be full
to be able to suck that through.
Right.
And that will start pulling vacuum, so to speak, from the other trees.
Yeah.
So
what it's basically doing is just pulling against the trees, because trees, then you'll get some air out, which is just the natural gas from the trees. And so get that air, so you're pulling against that, and you're pulling against those trees to pull the sap out of the line there.
So let me ask you a question, Bennett, because I don't know much about the 3/16. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm a 5/16 high vac guy.
Yep.
How much elevation drop do you have to have from your entry?
Yep.
I guess it's to the tank or
To the tank.
What is that? Because you hear so many numbers. Like
what I've always heard is from the tap to the tank, you need at least 14 feet to at least create minimal vacuum. And then from there, every foot you go up is 0.88 inches. So like if you go up 1.5 feet, you're going to get another inch of vacuum. And so you really need.
But is there like a number that you got to be at? Like, do you need to be like 8 feet from the entry down to your tank? Or you know what I'm saying?
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know about that one. I just know elevation wise.
And I think it's
because
just
I'm
elevation.
saying, like, say your tank is sitting right here,
right,
and you got to go 500 feet back to a tree.
Sure.
You know, you got your sub main goes up to there. How high does that entry have to be?
14 feet above the tank.
Right.
That's it.
To create minimal vacuum.
That's
yeah.
That's
but you need to
start
be 45 to 50 feet above the tank to get that 28 inches.
So that's going to be a problem when you get close to that tank then.
Yeah, so those bottom taps, like our bottom, most taps won't be pulling that 28,
exactly.
But our top ones will be,
right.
And they'll have so much force coming down through.
That makes sense.
Like our bottom tap, like our line right now on our OG line, we're calling it, goes uphill a little bit into the tank, but it's going to be no problem because it's got so much pressure from above it, the hill, going down.
Now the 5 new ones we put up, they should be no problem.
They're going to be no problem because from the tank to the top, we have, our app is saying 100 feet, but I'm telling you, by walking it, we got more than 100 feet of
That's
elevation.
good.
It's like straight up.
That's what you want. I think that'd be even better.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for the ones closer to the tank. Like, as soon as you
pushing them,
you almost want to mount your tank right at the base, man, where if it starts climbing, then those ones that are like 8, 10 feet, 12 feet up, you'll get them to have.
Get them back.
Yeah, because they might not have vacuum on them, but the rest of the system has the vacuum already. So you're going to naturally get that vacuum.
Do you know how many inches you're getting? You guys check it? Or?
So I want to put a vacuum gauge on our line this year because I'm interested to see. I bet we're going to be pulling 28 inches this year.
Wow.
We'll be.
They say the max you can get is 20. I was reading it last night on my phone. It's like 29 is what they're saying the max is. But like, again, that's at sea level. We're not at sea level.
So we're going to be pulling. Yeah.
So this is a great way for, like you say, a guy with 100, 200, 300, whatever, to get yourself some natural vac without spending the money of a pump.
Correct. It's all in the line. But again, the caveat to that is you can only put around 20 taps on this line. Because if you put more than that, by the time the sap gets to your bottom tree on a good run day, this line's already full. And now, when that line's full and you got nowhere else for sap to go, what's going to happen?
Back up.
It's going to back up in your drop and into your tap hole. And then like we talked about in episode 1, all the bacteria fills in that hole.
So it would be a good idea for those guys even to buy check valves just for that extra.
Yeah, correct.
Extra reassurance, insurance.
Yeah.
So for me to wrap my head around this, because this is pretty cool for me. These are the couple old school spiles, right? That used to tap in. Now, anyone that's seen a bucket run, it doesn't run just a stream, right?
No,
what does it do? Drip, drip,
yes,
drip.
And if you watch, I'm sure you've maybe shown it in your videos, but if you watch, I know in my channel, I have it. If you go back into last season, I went up to my top tap and you can see it going out in little spurts of sap. So you'll get a full spot and then an empty, and a full spot and then an empty. And that's exactly what it is. It's that drip, drip. It's almost like the heartbeat of the tree, right?
It's almost gases too. A lot of that releasing gas is what you see that pocket column sap there. And then it's
in theory, you want that gap because by the time you get to the bottom, if you have more than 20 trees on there, this line is full. And like you just said, there is nowhere for the sap to go because it's full. So now we got this line full and this line full, nowhere to go. So if you have that airspace, every other tree is just going to fill that in and it just rips.
You got to
start ripping.
Yep. And so like last year we had 31 taps on our 3/16 line, and it's not a huge problem for us because we have such elevation change from the bottom to the top that the first 4 or 5 runs of the year, those top half taps won't even open up because it's so cold up on the top of the mountain.
Right.
But the bottom half's open. And then by the time the top half is opening, the bottom half is starting to shut down and be tired. And so it kind of takes over. But I did have majority of my drops, I'd say probably the last 6 to 7 taps on my line last year were right full at the end of the season, which I didn't want to see. But what are you going to do, right? Like, so now I have This year we took 4 off of that line. So we're down to 29. So we added 2 nice trees. So next year, our plan, we're going to run a second line there. And so we get it down to that under 20 number.
Right. That we pushed the limits of what everyone told us won't work. And then we found out it
Won't work.
didn't work.
But the problem was we were running on, didn't want to spend double the money to run 2 lines side by side to get 10 taps on each. We wanted, to maximize our line because I was kind of doing it. The first year I ran it when I had no permission, if you remember the first episode, I did it all out of pocket. So I was in high school or I was a senior in college or a freshman in college. Either way, it doesn't matter. I was a young guy doing it all out of pocket and didn't really feel like dropping $1,000 online or whatever it needed to be. So I tried to minimize my expenses. So I kind of did it not wrong, but not perfectly correct either.
Now, one thing I know from your first year, and then we had it last year, that you learned, and I think you talked to some people in the business, you had everything 3/16.
Right. So little naive me ran all 3/16. I had 3/16 main line, which I'm calling main line, our main trunk line that goes all the way through the
Lateral line.
Lateral
I call lateral. Off the sub main.
So mine.
That came all the way to your tank.
All the way to the tank. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't have anything.
So you don't run it into a bigger and then bigger like
No.
the back. It's all one straight piece.
One
of
straight
right
piece.
to the
Yep.
tank. Yep.
From the top of the woods to the tank is all 3/16.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Why
absolutely.
like that?
And so, like my grandfather, when he does it, he has a woods that's 6 lines, and they all meet at the top. And they have to run 200 feet till they get to the tank with no maples. And so he dumps it into a 3/4 line because you just lose your vacuum right there. And then
That makes sense. Once you go to that bigger pipe, you just lost your vacuum.
But it doesn't matter because it's just gravity and down. He's got perfect slope, so it doesn't matter. But there was no sense for me to do that. So what I did the first year is I had 3/16 main line and 3/16 drop line, which if you don't know what we're talking about with drop line and you're on YouTube, this is the drop. So you have your tap on the top, your T on the bottom. The T goes in that main line, and that feeds the main line. So I'm like, oh, perfect. It's running. It's doing great. But at the end of the year, I didn't have quite the production I thought I would have. And I was talking to my grandfather at Harrington's, and he's like, you got to try doing your drops as 5/16. He's like, at the end of the night, you're having the trees are sucking your line dry. I'm like, that don't make any sense. But you think about it, when the tree gets going to that negative pressure at nighttime,
it wants to pull
it
back.
pulls back. And so it was sucking my line right dry. Now as a vacuum,
back up in the tree.
That's crazy.
And now as a vacuum guy, that's ideal for you, right? You want your line dry at the end of the night, no ice.
Yeah, well, and then you just ruined your tap hole. You put bacteria back in the tap hole again.
Well, what the vacuum guy is doing is sucking from the bottom.
The bottom.
Basically, what we're doing is pushing from the top.
Right. Yeah,
and
we're pulling from the bottom all the way to the top.
And so what the issue became was now my line's empty. I have no ice, but I have no siphon in the morning
to start.
And so I had to wait 2 hours into the run till that line was full until it got vacuum again.
That's crazy. That makes perfect sense now that I hear that.
And so last year I changed it. I had 3/16 main line, 5/16 drops. So it creates that negative pressure between the tap and the tree, or the line and the tree. And so it can't suck that line dry. Now it does freeze in the night, but that's okay. I'd rather have that freeze. So as soon as it thaws early in the morning, I already have a siphon. And so last year I had the same number of taps. I gathered for 2 weeks less than the first year. Same exact trees. I didn't add or change anything. And I gathered sap for 2 weeks less, and I gained 200 gallons of sap.
So total opposite of a vacuum system. You want this draining out pretty much dry every night.
Right.
As soon as it starts running, we start sucking.
Right.
That one, the other way around. You want it full, so when it starts running, it has a natural siphon.
Creates a siphon immediately.
Yep. I still think it would benefit you to put check valves in though. Because if that's full, it might be full in the spout.
Especially on the bottom.
On the bottom.
On the bottom ones,
I mean,
the top ones are going to be fine. But we have more volume here now, right? So when it starts that negative pressure and coming back, we can put a lot of this into this, so it never gets up there.
The only problem,
it might only fill up half of this line because you got a lot more volume on the 5/16 compared to the 3/16.
I see.
That's where we're doing it.
You're a check valve guy.
Well, I have check valves just because that one woods is flat.
Right.
Like I know some guys that you're not going to get them away from them because they're proven. They're just always worried about. They always say, if you're the kind of producer that doesn't like to go in the woods, buy the check valve.
Right.
Because that's going to save you. But if you're the kind of guy like Glenn Goodrich, I heard him say this. He says if you're the kind of guy that likes to pound the woods and you're in the woods every day, all day long, you don't need check valves. I'm pretty sure he's not a big fan of them. Don't quote me, but I heard him say it someplace. He says, but if you're that kind of guy where you're not getting to the woods early and you got this or that going on, then you put the check valve in because it's going to save you.
Right.
So he's talking about basically leak checking.
Correct.
If you're pounding the woods, hammering leaks all day, and your system's 100% free, it's not going to go back in that tree.
Correct.
But if you're not, it's good to have them in.
Because my grandfather, he used check valves 1 to 2 years. I'm not sure, but he does. I don't know why. I never asked him really the reason, but he doesn't use them anymore. He always kind of said he didn't like them, and so I kind of always know. I've kind of grown up as like, oh, check valves are bad, and so I wonder if because of we're using the 3/16, we're not actually sucking that little ball away from the hole. If when it needs to, it'll get stuck in that hole and it won't actually do its job.
It might. That's a good point there. So let us know. Someone that's watching us that knows a little bit more about that.
Or if you found, where what'd you say, the stuff in the hole won't get stuck.
There's a little ball in there that floats back and forth. And
but if you don't have a clean hole right when you first tap,
it could mess it up.
It could suck that.
So there's so much with that. Yeah. So like that little ball in there, like when we put them in, I should have brought a couple. I forgot we're going to talk about check valves, but for most people in the maple business, it's a little black ball inside the spout. You move it back and forth, and you can see it roll back and forth in there. So that's like what I have my old man do before he even puts them on the drop. Make sure every one of those things are moving freely, because 6,600, you're going to come across 20 of them, maybe, I don't know, 30, whatever it is, and they don't work. So because like you were saying, once you drill that tree, you got to get all that bark out of there. There cannot be anything left in there. And I have like a piece of stainless steel wire that I carry with me, and I just lightly put it in there. If I see bark, I'll get it out, and then I tap it in, because if you get a big piece of bark, it's going to get in there against that ball, and you're probably going to lose production.
Right.
You
out of that tree.
Out of that tree.
Absolutely.
So now if you're going with a regular like thin wall spout, it'll suck that bark right down and right on down the line.
Now you do a lot of talking about your old man. I mean, he seems to be
he runs that show.
The lifeblood of this operation.
Lifeblood. Yeah, he's the painstake of the operation. I don't know. The guy just. It seems easy. Like all this stuff it seems easy, but you have to pay attention.
Oh yeah.
Like one wrong move can cost you. And I'll piggyback on that for just 1 second. So last year I had him pulling taps. Or no, 2 years ago. He likes to pull the taps. I go back to work. It helps me tremendously if he does it right. So he says, I'll pull taps. So he goes back, and they're pulling taps, and I don't think nothing about it. And I go back through the woods in the summer just to triple check everything. Pull some out, they miss, whatever, blah, 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 hook them in. So last year we start tapping, it's tapping season. About the third tree in, I pull off the whip line like this. The whip line's hooked in here like this. I pull it off, drill a tree, I pick it up there like this, and I go to tap it in, and I see right here a ring in there. I'm like, what the heck is that? I'm looking at it, and instantly I knew what he did. When he went to cut the spout off, he didn't get low enough. He took off part of the spout.
Yep.
6,600 of them, boys.
Yep.
You know how frustrating that was? So now I'm paranoid, because I'm like, now I got a ring in every single one of these. And some of them, they went all the way down to here. And then
they're not going through that.
No, and some of them were big. And I looked in there, I was like, man, that's restricting flow. So I was like, you got to be kidding me. The guy just did 6,600 taps like that. Well, his defense was he's trying to save me money. Well, geez, Jackson, what the heck's the difference between a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch to the end of the spout?
Give yourself a little room.
I'm like, now you just made my job 10 times harder, because now he can't see very good. So he put the spout on. If he would have saw it before he put the spout on, he could have got it out. Now I have the spout on there. Now I got to get that ring out, every one of them. Yeah. Oh, I was hot. Oh, because
they were all already in there.
Yeah, he wasn't. I said, Dad, you got to look. I don't see it in there. So there's a few ways I could do it. I could pull this off and just pound on it with my side cutters, and it would rattle out, and I'd get it out. But oh man, I tell you, and I told him, I said, you're fired, dude. He's like, really? I said, really? Because that just, like, I don't mind somebody helping me out, and I'm not fussy, but like, what's the sense of having somebody do something that I have to
redo?
Right. It's not being an ass about it. I'm just saying, like, I don't have a lot of time.
No.
Like,
yeah, correct.
time is just, I don't know.
Well, especially when you go to tap. When you go to tap, you want to just get it done. Because like you said, it takes 15 9-hour days to do it. And so you don't want to be waiting around. You want to get that done. See, we are going to take a day to do it. And so it's a little easier for us to mess around a little bit.
And that is a mistake that won't happen again.
We should have talked about it on last
Could have
episode.
talked about that on the last one, but Jackson's never going to do that again. He's probably going to start cutting them about here.
Yeah. There's no happy medium with them. I go up there and all my drops are 4 inches. How am I going to reach a tree? No, I think I'm like, Dad, just stay off the bottom, dude.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to save you money. He says, what are you saving me by cutting it that close? You just made more work. And it's a long, hard day out there pounding. I mean, it's monotonous, boys. 6,600 every day, the same thing. So anyways, I think we got that figured out, but yeah, that's another mistake.
Right. And that's one that is a good one for you to share, because I never thought of that. I remember you telling me about that last year, and I'm like, shit, I would just went up there and trimmed them off too, but now I would pay attention to that.
Well, that's what I say all the time. Like, maple is not hard. It's just paying attention to what you're doing when you're doing what you are doing. Like that task at hand that day, like, I know it's monotonous. It's 6,600, dude. It's a long, boring process day, but if you're going to do it right.
The first time.
I mean, and that just, every day he called me like, how you making out? I said, don't even ask. Don't call me.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm a good mood kind of guy, but one thing like that, it's like, because I just don't know how you could make that mistake for 6,600 times.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know where his mind was.
Yeah, it's just one of those things.
It was to get it done. That's what
it was a mental burnout.
It wasn't in the game, I can tell you that. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes too, but it's just like that was brutal, because that just multiplied my work. Like, I just couldn't come up, drill a tree, clean it out, tap it. I had to come up, take it apart. I bet you it took me 5 extra minutes every tap.
Right, because then you got to get the line off that file.
It is over 6,600, dude.
Well, we're at about 25 minutes.
We're about 2 minutes behind, so about 27 minutes.
All right, so we are trying to keep these right around a half hour, just so you guys don't get bored.
Now that we're 3 in, if you guys think half hour is too short, let us know. If it's too long, let us know. Now that we're 3 in, or if you guys are enjoying the half hour mark, that's all good feedback. Any feedback is good feedback, whether it's positive or negative. So,
yeah, and if you have any questions about this episode of what we were talking about, 3/16 and 5/16 line, what he was explaining, why we do what we do, man, just drop it in the comments. We're always trying to read them. Yep. The next episode, I think what we should do to piggyback off this is probably go in to vacuum. I'm looking through these notes. There's pages of people that know vacuum. Is it good? Is it bad? What does it do to the tree? Is it, there's so much. Yeah. Can you have too much? Can you have too little? So
I definitely think there's, like, if you go into the, I don't want to say the rude thing, but the uneducated public,
them kids.
No, I know. There's definitely some negative monotony around.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
System. Yeah. And so that'll be great to be able to explain the positive side of it that people don't think about. They hear vacuum in the woods and they automatically think negative. And so it would be nice to talk about it.
Right. Or you hear the opposite, like, I'm going to do maple, like our little setup that we're going to have, and I have to do vacuum. I can't do it without vacuum. That is definitely not true, because we just explained we can create vacuum by this new technology. Whoever figured this crap out was pretty cool.
And I can promise you a roll of 3/16 line is a lot cheaper than a roll of inch line. I can guarantee that.
Or 5/16 line.
Or 5/16 line.
Whatever it is.
Right.
So
I think the next one, I think that'd be a good idea. I mean, we did this one with some lower, I don't know, let's say no vacuum, like no power vacuum. We're doing it all natural.
You're on the boonies.
Right.
With slope.
And like I said, people, I'm sure there's a whole bunch of people out there just starting. We know a few that are small and they're starting to ask him questions a lot about this.
I'll say something quick before we get off here. So vacuum, if you know, the way the weather is nowadays, like for maple to run optimal, it has to freeze thaw. That freeze thaw cycle is not guaranteed anymore. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like, like we might go 4 or 5 days without a freeze.
Yeah.
So like vacuum is the way. It's the only way, in my opinion, if you want to get consistent sap.
Right.
Because you can't rely on the weather anymore. Like under high vac, like what we got, you can go 5-6 days without a run. It'll pull back. It just keeps pulling and pulling. Some of my biggest runs were from a 3-day no freeze.
Right.
4-day no freeze. So that's the advantages of vacuum.
Oh, absolutely.
Like gravity, you're at the mercy of it, you know, and
Right.
it's an open system. And think about it, the hole's open to bacteria, drip,
Mhm.
drip, drip. You know what I mean? It's the vacuum. If you want to make syrup, you got to have some sort of vacuum, whether it be
Right.
natural or, you know, high
Well,
vac
yeah,
with a pump.
and if you don't want to get into the vacuum pumps, but you want to still collect sap in line system, but you don't have quite the slope you need for the 3/16, you can do it with all 5/16, and it will be an all gravity system.
Mhm.
And so that is another way for the smaller guys out there that are watching
Correct.
that want to get into it, but don't want to. They say, oh, maybe I only have 20 feet of slope. Well, maybe you'll be better off doing a 5/16 system because
Strictly gravity.
then you can get more taps per length of line.
length
You
of
can
line.
get, I think you can get up to 30, 35 on 5/16. But if you only have 20 feet of drop, it'd be more beneficial to do that than running 2 3/16 lines that aren't going to benefit you any vacuum.
Another
We'll pull you
thing
on
I'm
your
thinking about too, like, so you have a bucket setup, or you have gravity, or you have vac. What is worse, buckets dripping into a pail open to the elements, or a gravity system that drips into a line but takes that much longer to thaw out? I always wondered that, which one is actually better. You know what I mean? Because if that line's full of sap,
Mhm.
all your 5/16s, not natural vac like you guys are,
Right.
just regular.
Just gravity. Yep.
That thing is full all the time. So it's going to take how long to thaw out in the morning where that
Mhm.
little spout is already thawed out and dripping.
Correct.
Drip, drip.
Well, and
drip.
there is a lot of that. I mean, we can go into probably a whole topic of that. People love these. The old timers like these thaw out quicker, just like you said.
Mhm.
And my buckets are filling up when you guys are still playing with ice.
I had
ice in your
14.
line.
I had 14 bag taps last year, and they were some of my best producing taps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird because it's open to the elements, which is not what you want with vac. You want a closed sealed system, so no air, no bacteria. So you got that little spout sticking in a tree
Mhm.
like that. I swear that it would have to do better than a pipe system.
It
Gravity.
seems to.
I would
Yeah,
think.
absolutely.
And usually the trees you're doing bucket like me. All my bucket trees were roadside trees. The crowns are beautiful.
Oh,
they
yeah.
get open to the sun easier.
Right.
That kind of thing. So
Thaw out faster. Well, look, I think
I think that was a good one. We
think that ran through.
definitely can touch back on this in later episodes if there's questions and comments. And
we
we want
definitely
more.
will. Yeah.
Because there's so much we could talk about on vacuum, natural vacuum, gravity, buckets. So that's like an unlimited topic. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, this is a great episode. That was a really good one.
So stand by for the next one because we're going to go into Dano's big suck system.
Dano's big suck. Golly.
I'll end this one by thanks for watching.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that episode of the Tapped In podcast. Please, if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and hit the like button. It really helps us out a lot, gives us the motivation to keep going, and it helps the algorithm push it to other people to see the videos as well. If you like the content we're talking about and you want to see more in depth about it, you can head over to Crestview Maple Farm on YouTube and check out all the stuff Dan Bolton's doing over there with the bigger size operation. Then you can check out Mountaintop Maple on YouTube and check out my operation in the smaller setup, and we'll be boiling here soon, things like that. We got some merch on the Facebook. We got regular hats in both different color styles and beanies, so go check out all our Facebooks and Mountaintop Maple TikTok and a Tapped In TikTok. So go follow both of those. And thanks guys for watching.